Hello, hello. You can mute yourselves if you like and say hello. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. As you can see, I have a different background. I look like I'm in a sauna.
I was about to say, you look like you're in a sauna, Jill.
I'm actually in a shepherd's hut.
Hello. I've only just got unmuted. Hello.
Yeah, I'm in a shepherd's hut. So it's a little bit echoey and the light isn't that great, but I think it looks okay. And I just want to say before I say anything else, you'll notice that I'm recording. I'm going to see if it records okay, or rather it records to where I tell it to record to, because this is the problem I sometimes have. And if it does record okay, then I'll share the recording with you afterwards. Okay. All right. So welcome, week 2. Wow, that went quick, didn't it? It really did go quick. Yeah, and I've got to say, I am so impressed, seriously, so impressed with all of you, because you've been checking in, you've been doing the heart breathing, you've been kind of really noticing so much about yourselves, about your progress, about the times where it's been a bit sticky or a bit icky, the times where, you know, it's like, oh, I've really had success with this because it's helped me do this, or I felt like this. All that self-reflection that you've naturally been doing is just fantastic. It really is, because I know all of you are seasoned and lifelong learners, and we know that self-reflection is a key to improving and embedding, isn't it, when we learn something? So it was like, yay, well done you. I am so chuffed with you all. I really am. Just like, go girls, go on, you can do it, you can do it. So we've got a lot to get through tonight, or rather a lot that I want to get through. So and hopefully I've created that space already so that I will stick to time and get through everything. So we haven't got Anne this evening. Some of you might have seen she's got a migraine and she's gone to bed. So we will send lots of loving energy, healing energy Anne's way. Okay, so let's take 3 breaths together. And in fact, we're going to take this breath a specific way. Okay, so we're going to take a nice deep breath, a good, really good, strong breath in. Okay, so remember to come lower down when we take that breath in, and take it in through the nose. And when we breathe out, yeah, I want you to, and I'll do one first to demonstrate it to you. I want you to engage the back of your throat and make a noise with it. So until all the breath has gone. Now you might feel a bit of a div, okay? Lots of people do if they haven't done this. They're kind of like, well, I'm in the room on my own, but what if the neighbours hear me, or what if the, like, you know, my partner hears me, or what if someone hears me, okay? And it can feel a bit funny, but this is, it's not it's something I was going to share with you later, but it just feels right to do it now. Okay, so there's no notes in this week's resource pack about this. It's just actually, yeah, we're going to do this because it feels right. So we're going to do 3 of those. But before we do it, I want you to just notice, just have a quick scan and just notice what you notice about how you are right now before we do those breaths. So notice what your breathing's like. Notice what your body is like. Notice what your mind is like. Notice what your energy is like. Okay. And just our overall sense of where you are, how that's feeling, just give it a number or a colour or whatever feels right. And 10's always the best it could feel. Okay, just open your eyes when you've got that. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to do those 3 breaths now. Remember, really engage the back of the throat, like feel the resonance of it. And when you've done your 3, and just check in with yourself again and give it another number or colour or whatever you gave it the first time. And just open your eyes when you've got what you need. So I know that you're done. Fantastic. Okay. Who felt a bit silly doing that? Lots of people do. Who's done that before somewhere? So felt okay with it? Yeah. And who liked it? Yeah. Who didn't like it? Okay. All right. Jan, can you hear us all right? Yeah, you're okay. So I can't hear you if you say anything because you're muted. Let me see if it'll let me unmute you. In fact, I'm going to unmute you all now if it'll let me. It does.
Yeah, Jill.
Yeah.
I've had a bad head all day actually as well, but I feel better than I did. So I'm determined to stay. But I may close my eyes because the brightness and that. But I'm still here. Okay.
All right. Fantastic. And if at any point the light from the screen is getting too much as well, just switch your screen off for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
I totally get that because it can just be a bit too much. Hopefully, by the time because we're going to do heart breathing and we're going to do some tapping tonight, so you'll feel loads better by the end of the 2 hours.
Exactly.
Helen was doing a little happy dance then. All right, brilliant. Okay, so just to start, I'd like you each to choose 2 words. One word represents how the week has been for you, how this first week of Karma You. And the other word is how you feel now. Yeah, they're kind of summing up how you are now. And to think of one success that you experienced this week, one Karma You success or Karma You related success. So maybe, I don't know, it could be the fact that you just turned up and you did things and whatever the thing is, but it's your success, not related to anybody else, your personal success and looking after you.
Sorry, could you repeat the second one that you asked?
Yeah.
Asked it the question.
So I'll repeat it all for everybody. So the first word sums up the week, how you feel about the week. The second one is now in this moment. And one success. Okay. Okay. Well,
so do you want us to type it in?
Well, I was going to ask you to share it so that you can all use your voice at the start of the class so that we connect. Yeah. Okay. So since Helen was fastest finger first, I used to play that with students. It was hilarious. I used to write all these words related to whatever the thing was we were working on the board, and a little group of them would come up. And so you'd give them a question and the answer was on the board, and they had to go and put their finger on the board first. It was absolutely hilarious, especially with like carpentry boys or something. Do you know what I mean? Like nearly kill each other to get there, and there was always sweets involved or cake or something. Do you know what I mean, for the winning team? So let's go with Helen first.
Oh yeah, finger on the buzzer.
Finger on the buzzer.
Yeah, I put the word resistant.
Okay, brilliant.
That's all I can put it down. I've been doing stuff. I have been sort of turning up and doing, but I have been resisting, and then it's like I'll add the little success, even though it's not a success. But the success is that I've noticed that my breathing is uneven.
Yeah.
So I feel I have to force one part of it to become a bit more even. And then I'm like, well, I'm not enjoying that. So I'm using that as a resistance. So I will add that as a success because
Okay.
I've noticed.
Okay. So the first one, resistant. What about the word for now? How you
Open. I feel
Open.
open.
Okay. Can I ask about your uneven breathing? So
Yeah.
are you trying to take in really big breaths?
Well, if I do it the other way around, I find that I can do my out breath so much longer. So when I count, you know, for example, I might do 5 on an in breath. I can do like 8, 9, 10 on the out breath.
Yeah.
And I think I breathe like that nearly all the time. And I know I've been told, not only by you, Jill, it's better if they are even. And I think I've just spent years going, and all the yoga and everything, let's extend your out breath by 1,000,000. And now I'm so uneven. So I'm trying to shorten the out breath to only like 5. I'm not going to go like, Wim Hof Ironman, but even to keep it an even on 5, I'm having to, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not fun.
Okay. So can I make a suggestion so that
Yes,
you can start this practice, have a little experiment with it tonight. Count a bit slower on the in breath. Count a bit faster, on the in breath in your head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like you're doing a longer in breath.
It's like cheating.
No,
I like it.
But we can trick our body into doing the thing we want it to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you might be aiming for 8, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then count slower on the out breath.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I've got to say, for the purpose of heart breathing, they want all the research that they did was getting the people to have that even breath in, even breath out.
Yeah.
There are many practices where the out breath being longer is super good. I mean, there's 7-11 breathing and yogic breathing and all kinds of stuff. So it's not like it's wrong or bad in any way. Yeah. And I think I'll find out for you. I'm not sure what difference that would make to going into coherence. Okay. It might be that you're still going to go into heart coherence, even if your out breath is a little bit longer. Okay. Well done, Helen. Thank you. All right. So who would like to go next? Louise? Brilliant.
Okay, well, just to let you know that at the end of the next morning after last week's session, I became very ill. And so I felt incredibly drained in the fact that I was ill. However, I looked upon it as an opportunity, and the heart breathing helped. And it certainly helped when I had palpitations, which was a positive thing. And I know I shared that. What I think the win was my tenacity, because whatever happened, I was thinking I'm doing the heart breathing, and I was thinking, well, okay, I'm unwell, I'll get better, I'll get the antibiotics, and I was better. I am better, although I'm still a bit tired. And right now I feel quite happy to be here. So that's
Oh,
good. And I've
brilliant.
helped some other people with heart breathing, but that's another story. I know I've shared it with you, but I didn't want to share it with the world, because it's quite awkward when you're dealing with someone who is part of the course that I was on, which I'm delivering, and it was all a bit tense. But the heart breathing settled her.
Oh, fantastic. And well done you. Thank you, Louise. So what about the 2 words to sum up the weekend now?
To sum it up, I came up with drained, happy, tenacity.
Okay.
that was
Oh, thank you. I'd missed it how you'd put it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that too. Oh, brilliant. That was the result. Pam, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I always have trouble having one word for things. To sum up the week, how it sort of went for me, I really feel like I wasn't taking it seriously enough, if that makes sense. I was doing the breathing, but not as many as I should have done. But I really did notice that I feel like I felt calmer, even so. The few days after we started was particularly noticeable. I could really feel that I was like just stepping back and not stressing about things. So I don't know, one word, I don't know. I can't think of one word. And now in this moment, I sort of feel it's weird. I started off with calm, and the word competent kept coming in, and I don't know why, because that just feels too big-headed for me to say. Do you know what I mean? But there's something about, I feel like I'm getting it or something. I don't know, or maybe not fighting it. I don't know. It's weird.
So
that word just kept coming up.
So if that word kept coming up, Pam, if you were feeling competent at the heart breathing, even though you had already said, well, I wasn't taking it seriously and I didn't do it as often as I should have done or would have liked to have done, I'd say that's a massive result, isn't it?
It sort of feels good in that, yeah, it feels good to me, and I'm not used to doing that. I'm still resisting that. Do you know what I mean? No, that's, I can't say I'm competent because that's too big-headed and too forward. Do you know what I mean? Which is the problem I always have of not recognising things. So I'm quite pleased that, it sounds crazy, but I'm pleased I can say that and not feel creepy about it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's just one word. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you take ownership of that word, Pam.
Yeah, I feel like
you deserve it.
I can't avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it feels like for the week there's a little bit of regret.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still finding it hard to be motivated and to get going on stuff, because I'm not working at the moment, so I'm at home a lot. Yeah. And yeah, it is hard to motivate to do things, and that's annoying because I could be doing hundreds of those breaths every day. I've got nothing else to do. Do you know what I mean?
Well, let's take it baby steps. This is a message for all of us here. Yeah, baby steps, one thing at a time. We come in with a learner's mindset. Yeah, we do what we can. We don't beat ourselves up because there's absolutely no need for that at all. No requirement for self-flagellation or criticism or judgment. And we just accept where we are. Yeah. And interestingly, when we do the heart breathing in a few minutes, I'd already felt that we needed to bring in compassion for self and from self, which will really help. And those who were at the Circle of Love last month, we brought compassion in, and it was so powerful, because we can give ourselves such a hard time when we're learning something, and we just, we're creatures of habit. Anyone who had the time to read the resource pack today or yesterday, it's like we've been doing the same thing over and over again. You know, so they're really hardwired responses, and those hardwired responses are coming from a place of keeping us safe. Yeah. And when we're trying to do something different, that fear of change and what that might mean for us, for our belief system, for the world around us. So the other great thing is that's what our focus is with the tapping. Yeah, is that fear of change. That's why week 2 we go straight in there, because resistance, procrastination, avoidance, self-sabotage, if that's a phrase that you use, though I don't, and I'll let me mention that now, okay, whilst we're here. Self-sabotage, I don't use this phrase, I don't buy into it, okay. If self-sabotage implies a conscious action, when we resist, when we avoid, when we procrastinate, when we worry, when we're fearful, when we're in any state that prevents us doing the thing that we want to do, especially when it's related to improving ourselves or our health or our well-being or our emotions or healing from something, it's not a conscious act. It's deeply, deeply subconscious. Yeah. And it's wired into our safety system to keep us that way, to keep the status quo. Yeah. And that goes back to caveman times. The limbic system is going off on red alert. Oh my God, you're going to do something different. You're going to try and exist without this. No, 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 no. It just kicks off, having a right old strop. Yeah. Fight or flight kicks in. And so you carry on doing the same. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And when we notice it, so that compassion that we'll bring in, that will activate today, that's our first place to go to whenever we find ourselves not doing the thing we want to do. Yeah. We go to that place of compassion and we say, I'm doing the best I can do right now with the resources I have in this moment. And even though I know I've got all these other things I could do to help myself, I know I'm trying to stay safe. So I'm just bringing in that compassion. Yeah. Okay. So that we kind of veered off into what I'm going to do later.
Right.
This is why I do this combination of stuff this week, because I know that if we can get into looking at what the fears are, what the beliefs are that are attached to all of this, then suddenly we can free ourselves up. There was the last time I ran this, there was a lady on it who said, I joined loads of courses and I rarely finish, or if I do finish, I'll do hardly any of the work. I might turn up, but I won't have done the work. And mostly I don't finish the course. And she had considerable trauma in her early life. She had a serious, a chronic ongoing health condition, and really struggled with a lot of things. Now, not only did she do the homework, she got to the end of the course, and in I think last time we did this in week 1, because it was a shorter course, we needed to extend it this time. It was about a couple of weeks in, and we did some tapping and we worked on one of her fears of change. Yeah, one of the beliefs that had come up, and from proper full on 10s, 0s, and that made the difference for her actually completing the course for the first time possibly ever, and actually putting things in place for herself. So this is the power of working on this. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Pam. I'm so chuffed for you, because that's really great result. It really is.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to come to Jane next.
Hello everyone. Hello. Yeah, my first word for this last week is a sort of feeling of being supported. in the background, as it were, with our little sort of comments on WhatsApp, and just that we're knowing that we're all doing the heart breathing at some point or other in the day, and that we're all on that sort of same wavelength. So that kind of and a sort of feeling of community, really. So, so I put supported as that word. As for how I'm feeling at the moment, I've got a sore arm and shoulder. I had a fall in July, and it's still bothering me. I'm seeing the physio next week, but I kind of feel tired. That's sort of draining me, that one area, which is so. Yeah, I just have, and I've had a busy day as well. So yeah, but anyway, quite emotional as well with the build up to taking my daughter today for her scan.
Oh,
Anyway, luckily it looks like that's, fingers crossed, it's going to be okay. So
oh, great.
yeah. My success is really, I suppose, keeping up with the heart breathing throughout the week. But I did want to sort of say something about, if I sit up like I'm doing now, I think it's a better way of doing it. And if I'm sort of thinking, I'm laying in bed, I'll do it there, I can't get the same sort of quality of feeling from laying down. So I've got to be strict with myself and make sure I sit up straight and do it properly, I think.
Oh, brilliant. That's really great that you've noticed that. And it is a big journey of exploration, isn't it? You know, because we've got to find out what works for us. And I think I said at the start, as one of the things that I've loved about this week for you all is because you've all been noticing things like that. Oh, actually, it doesn't work this for me if I do that, or if I do it in bed, I fall asleep, and you know, or if I do it this way, I notice this. So continue what you're doing and continue noticing, because the more we do something, the more it gets embedded, the more it becomes second nature, the deeper experience we get as well. So over the weeks, you'll continue to deepen the practice. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, Jane, I'm really pleased for you, especially after having such a difficult day. Yeah.
Something that when my late husband was poorly, I used to take him to a spiritual healer, and he would sort of lay down and do all this, I don't know, whatever it was, quite, I shouldn't say hocus pocus, that's not the right word, but anyway, and my late husband would often sort of say, oh, I can see the colour, whatever it is, purple, white, or whatever, and the spiritual healer would say, oh yes, that means that links to whatever. And I always used to think, I lay down and do my session, and I almost trying to force myself to see a colour. And yeah, so, but you shouldn't compare yourself to other people, because obviously some people are seeing golds and other colours and things, but I don't seem to get that, but I suppose it's not a worry.
No, we all have different gifts, Jane, and we all experience our own energy and the energy around us very differently. Yeah. Some people don't get colours at all. Some people will get really vivid images. Some people don't, you know. It's like I'm highly intuitive, but I don't see images. I get a sense of something. Yeah. And I'll get colours in some situations with some things, and others I won't. But it's really everyone is unique. Yeah, we absolutely cannot, or we're not. It's not possible to compare ourselves with somebody else. Yeah, it's a bit like trying to.
Yeah, sorry.
Like trying to say someone else's fingerprints are better than yours.
Can you say that again?
It's like trying to say that somebody else's fingerprints are better than yours.
Okay. In yoga, sometimes we'll sort of think of a white light sort of streaming down from the top of the head down to the root chakra, and sort of a cleansing thing. And I like that, you know, feeling. But but I don't sort of think, right, I've got deliberately to think of a colour, because I don't know, that's a good idea.
Okay, thank you, Jane. Thank you. I'm gonna come. Who wants to go next? We've got Jan. There you go, Jan.
Okay. So I found this week interesting. That's my word for this week. It was very interesting because I was curious, like you're saying, about noticing things, and that was good. And now tonight I feel hopeful. I think, which was what I was last week, but I still feel hopeful.
Brilliant.
The success this week, I've got a list which,
Yes.
yeah. So generally I've been calmer. There was one exclusion to that when I was really snappy with my two sisters. But you know, so there's evidence. Yeah, I feel much more aware of when I'm not looking after myself, and I have been looking after myself physically a little bit better.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and my sleep's been less interrupted. You know, I'm not waking so many times, and I think that's the breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. So sorry about the one word.
No, that's amazing. That's if someone's got a whole list of successes, I am not going to stop them from celebrating those successes. And we celebrate with you, Jan. Oh, well done. I'm so pleased to hear that. And if any situation or any person is going to activate stuff within us, it's always going to be family.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I think what Jane said as well is that I think what kept me, you know, on it is having that community and support. You know, I think that really supported me to keep going, you know, because I'm so resistant to doing anything that will help me. But so that is a massive plus.
Oh, I'm really pleased to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to say thank you all for tuning in as often as you have, you know, because I know life gets in the way sometimes, and please don't feel like you have to apologize if you don't make it. Yeah. If you didn't check in because you were resisting it, and the next time you go in, you could always just go, oh, I didn't check in because I was resisting it, and we'd all go, oh, it's okay, come on, yeah, I feel like that sometimes. So like it's like owning up, isn't it, to where we are, you know, own it completely. But yeah, it's been fantastic, and just knowing that the group support really has pulled you all along, hasn't it, you know. Thank you. Fran.
Right. Okay. This week I've actually felt much more peaceful, and not as jagged as I would describe, which is how I would foresee I generally am, you know, with my emotions being up one minute, down the next. But I've just felt much more a sense of peace this week. My feeling today is tonight I'm really distracted. But I know what the reason behind that is. I can't find my glasses and I can't see anything.
Oh,
So it's fuzzy when I look at the screen. I can't see what I've written. And I feel quite disabled by something so simple. And I can't stop thinking, where have I put them? So yeah, that's how I feel at this moment. I can't even read what I put for the third thing. Oh God. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, I think my reflection on the week is that I've been consistent with my attempts at practice. So I've done the breathing. It's not always gone as I would possibly imagine, but I've been consistently looking to do it and trying to remember to do it, and I feel quite pleased about that.
Absolutely, you should be pleased with that. Well done, you. That's brilliant. Because you remember, there is no expectation of everyone being, or anybody being perfect or getting, no. You know, we're learning, yeah. All of us are learning, and it's been lovely because it's really helped me to remember to do the heart breathing each day, and I kind of realized because I've already got a daily practice, so I do certain things always, and I've got so many well, so many of the tools that I'm going to share with you over the next few weeks, I use them without even thinking. And it was kind of, I remember last week thinking, oh, how often do I do the heart breathing? And I think I was doing it more than I realized, because I just do it so automatically, you know. It's like I drop into that space. But then I've been doing it for a long time. Do you know what I mean? I've been using it for, I don't know, 13, 14 years, I think, since I first learned it. Yeah, so thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for helping each other and for helping me as well. Bonus. Yay! It is a team effort. Oh,
Can
fantastic.
I say one thing, Jill? Sorry.
Yeah, please.
The one thing that I shouldn't say what I've been failing at, because that just puts a damper on everything. It's the water consumption. Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
with
all
you.
set to start with, and over this yoga weekend I drank a lot, but oh goodness, yeah, I know I've got it here, but I'm certainly not drinking 2 litres a day. I can't get to that level at all.
So how much do you reckon you're drinking?
1 litre if I'm lucky, I think.
Okay, so 1 litre of water.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you drink herb teas or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're drinking like fruit teas or herb teas, they're going to count towards your water consumption.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine.
So
Is
you're
anyone
probably
else
drinking a lot more.
having that issue with water or
Mm.
drinking?
Yes.
I am. Yeah.
So yeah.
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 Okay. So you can bring that to the forefront of your mind for this, well, not necessarily in this moment, but for the coming week, yeah? Just to increase just a little bit, yeah? Daily increments, weekly increments. Yeah, it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good. I'm sure you've drunk more than you think. Yeah, I had herb teas, count them up to 3 litres. Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't like cold water, have hot water. It's the winter. You know, I've had that. I've had just cups of hot boiled water this week. I just felt like it, and it's so super cleansing, you know.
I love warm water. I can't drink cold water at all, even in the summer. It has to be room temp or warm.
Yeah, yeah. I have like, well, this is water. Look.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I can't do cold or iced water. There's people I see drinking like a frozen bottle of water as it melts. I'm like, oh no, not even like. I think the only time I've ever put water in the fridge was when I lived in Thailand, and my the little Thai bungalow that I was living in got so hot inside that it was like a recently cooled cup of tea kind of temperature if I left a bottle of water out. And of course everything was in plastic, so then that's all going to leach into the water, so I had to keep it in the fridge. Even I used to have to put my phone in the fridge at times. It would get so hot. Yeah, but and actually our body absorbs more water better when it's room temperature, because it's closer to the temperature of our body. All right. So where are we time-wise? All right, brilliant. So let's do some heart breathing. Then we're going to bring in compassion. Then we're going to, I'm just going to chat just for a couple of minutes about our daily self-loving practice. Can you just put your thumbs up and keep them up if you've already had a chance to look at the resource pack? If you haven't, it's totally okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
The first few pages.
It's just Fran. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I mean.
And you, sorry, yeah. No, I meant just Fran who hasn't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that was in my head. I'm only saying half a sentence.
She can't find her glasses, so she couldn't read it. I've got one in every room.
I don't know what I do without my specs, because I'm shocking. It's like I could see the words, and sometimes you can guess what the word is by the shape, can't you? But it's like, oh yeah, mine are just getting worse and worse. It is that age. Okay, my lovely. So we're going to do some heart breathing. Then we're going to talk about our daily self-loving practice and what you're going to add in this week. Yeah. So remember, we're always adding something in, but things that don't take long and things that will improve our experience and our mood. And then we're going to talk, well, I've kind of talked a little bit about the fear of change, but we're going to do some work around that within the context of EFT. Okay, so we're going to do some tapping. And then I think at the end, we'll finish off with, we'll say out loud the self-loving pledge again. Yeah. I think that really, you all went, whoa, I feel like I'm doing this. Oh yes, I've said it, I'm doing it. Yes, doing this for me. Okay. All right, my lovelies. Oh, got these bumps. Okay. So take a breath, close your eyes. Okay. Just get yourself settled. Just closing your eyes. And just take in those breaths. Just settling into that rhythm. Releasing all judgment of how it should be. And dropping down into the body. Out of the head and into the body. And as you drop down into the body, into the heart space, breathing in and out through the heart space. Breathing in and out through the heart space. And coming down even deeper now. Coming all the way down into every cell, into every strand of DNA. With every breath, with every heartbeat, going deeper and deeper into the heart space. And coming down even deeper still into every cell of the body. And deeper again into every strand of DNA. That's it. And now, bringing to mind the colour of compassion, whatever that colour is for you. Maybe you're choosing that colour, or you've just noticed that it dropped in. Compassion for self. Compassion from self. That's, notice that colour. And bring that colour into the heart space now. Breathe that compassion in and out through the heart space. That's it. Breathing that colour in through the heart, out through the heart. And if there is no colour, just breathe the word compassion in through the heart and out through the heart. In through the heart and out through the heart. Allowing that compassion to grow. To spread out to every cell. To go into every strand of multidimensional DNA. As you breathe that compassion in and out. That's it. And sending it out now into every cell in the body. To every organ. To every body system. To every body part. To every bone. Every muscle. Sending out that compassion. Feeling you now from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, the ends of your fingers. Filling you with compassion. And spilling out now into your energy around you. Breathing out that compassion, sending it out into the energy around you. Pushing it out. Beyond your heart, your cells, your body, into the energy around you and beyond. Sending it out further and further. Filling that room, that space, sending it out even further. Filling that building. Going out into the land around you. Sending it out even further still. Sending it out now. All the places and spaces that you've been, that you're going to be in this coming week. Sending it out even further still. Just carry it on, pushing it out there. That compassion for you and from you. Sending it out. All the way out to the furthest parts of our universe. And as it reaches the far edges of our universe, just starting to come back now, stronger, deeper. Come back towards you, bringing all opportunities and possibilities to experience more compassion for you and from you. Bringing it into your energy now, into your energy around your body and in through the top of your head and down, creating all these new neural pathways, and even deeper still into every cell, and taking it into your heart space. Taking it into your heart space and breathing it in and out through your heart space. And just noticing now that compassion fills you, as that compassion is you. And just bringing back that compassion with you now into this space, into this evening, into this body. And just moving your fingers and your toes, and taking a breath and coming back into the body, fully present and full of compassion. Okay, just opening your eyes just to let me know that you're back. Brilliant. Okay. Give your arms a little squeeze from the shoulders all the way down. Let your physical body know that you're back in charge. Fantastic. There you go. Brilliant. Oh, it's lovely feeling all that compassion rippling it out and back in. It's lovely. Thank you. So, how loud was the rain on your end?
I'm all right.
Did you hear it?
Very.
Yeah.
Yes, very. It sounded like the sea swishing in and out when you were doing a breathe it in and breathe it out. Oh my goodness, we've got waves coming out.
I thought you were in a bath. I mean, it
Yeah.
was that noisy.
Yeah.
I thought, my God, she's in a bath.
It's there's a tin roof on this shepherd's hut, and it's been happening today, like kind of just suddenly a downpour for like a couple of minutes, and then it stops, and you just okay. I've had about 3 of those today. Okay.
Jill, I have a cheeky favour to ask, and that was beautiful. Is there any chance you could speak those words without the rain, if you can, on the WhatsApp group? Because then it's just more accessible, and I know that if I can hear your dulcet Liverpudlian accent in my ears, then perhaps I would be able to settle more.
Okay.
Because I think it was something that, was it you, Fran, who said that? Yeah. And I think,
Makes a
when I
big
read that,
difference.
I'm like, absolutely, yes. I'm fighting a battle myself here. Why not?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I put the masterclass recording in there, because it is there. I'll see if I can. I think I might have done it already. Actually, I'll find it. I think I did a sound bite of just that from the masterclass. I'll be able to share that. I think I put it onto my. I think I put it onto my YouTube. Yeah. The reason why I put it there, and I said, oh, you can use it if you want. But the reason why this week I was kind of encouraging you all to do it without any assistance was because we really need to get a sense of what's it like when I do it by myself. Yeah. Because it's going to, and it's the continued doing of it that then makes it second nature. Because the idea is that things are going to happen in life, and we kind of go, oh, and you're not going to go, and so maybe you're at work, or maybe you're at a funeral, or maybe you've just had a really distressing times, like something just happened, and we're not going to go, oh, where's that recording? I need to listen to the recording. We need to be able to just go hand on the heart space, the breaths in, the breaths out, the breaths in, the breaths out, and not expect perfection. Yeah, just the act of the hand on the heart space and the breath, the connection with the body, which then connects us with the breath, will take us into that space. Yeah. So I do hear you, and if it helps, then that's great. But that's why I was kind of going, try this without anything. Yeah. And so if you can, and okay, so I invite you to have a go at both through the week. Yeah. So seeing how much you can do by yourself, as well as how much you can do when you listen along. Yeah. Okay. I'm a hard taskmaster. I'm gonna, you know, if I'd have been a personal trainer, I'd have been like cracking the whip, wouldn't I? Like, no, give me 100 more. You can do it. Get down. I'd have been shocking. I nearly was a personal trainer once. I actually, 25 years ago or more, I did my personal training exams. But back then, I didn't have the confidence to do it. Just didn't have the confidence to do it. Yeah, it's like, no, I wasn't like stick. I was really fit and I was strong, but I wasn't stick thin. So I just thought, I can't do this. But that's me back then. It was like, actually 25 years ago. That would have been about 28 years ago, 29 years ago. Oh my word. Okay. Now that I feel too old, so let's just not go there. This is impossible that it could be that long ago. Like, whoa, but surely I'm still 26. All right, my lovelies. So daily self-love in practice. Okay. I call it that because this is your opportunity to love yourself. I am the self-love coach after all, you know, so every opportunity to look after you. So you've started your daily self-love in practice already by doing the heart breathing. Yeah, that's part of your practice. And as we go along, you're going to bring more things in. You're going to build up this. Not only you'll have this amazing toolkit for resilience and for feeling amazing and supporting your emotional and your physical health and well-being, you're going to create something that is sustainable, a daily practice that's sustainable for you. Yeah. So and it, if it's anything like mine, it will change over time. Yeah. But you're going to have some things that will kind of be, they'll be so second nature that they'll be a non-negotiable, non-negotiables. Yeah, you'll just do it. It's like there are some things that I just do. Yeah, it's like when I'm at home. I'm not at home now. I don't have a shepherd's hut in my flat on the seafront. That would just be a little bit crazy, wouldn't it? But
no.
Well, trying to get it in there would be, I've got the space for it, to be honest. But anyhow, I'm digressing. Yeah, so it's like for me, I've got things I use to I've got like a routine. Yeah, I've got my daily practice. So and we'll do this in a few weeks' time. There's an energy cleansing, energy clearing protocol that you'll learn, and I do that so many times a day. But it's like the first thing I do, literally in my day. I'll do some breathing, which at the moment is heart breathing, and I think kind of, or very, I'm consciously doing heart breathing, whereas normally I just kind of drop down into the body and do some breaths, which is me connecting with the heart space. I meditate for a little while. I've got a chakra singing bowl set, and I do my singing bowls. I might use my drum depending on how I'm feeling. I might use mantras, depending on what I'm doing. And so it's kind of, that's part of my morning. Yeah. Now I don't have to get up and get out of the house at 7 a.m. So I have designed my life so that I have very easy mornings. But that's why I work for myself. The whole point of it for me. And it's like this place that I'm in, it's like I haven't got all of those things, so I've had to adapt. Yeah. But I'm really lucky that this place is full of crystals, not the shepherd's hut, but the house I'm staying in. And there's a gorgeous crystal singing bowl. So I've been, oh, it was amazing. I started off, I'm not messing, I was sitting on the floor with the singing bowl, and today, and it's like I felt all like kind of stiff and sore, and after about 10, 15 minutes of that, everything had melted away. Oh, very lovely. So very happy to be here. Okay, so that's what I mean by it's going to be second nature. Yeah. And it might not be second nature by the time we get to week 8, but enough so that you'll be able to continue. Yeah, continue embedding and continue integrating. So this week, the daily self-living practice is to bring in evening gratitudes. Now, hands up if you haven't ever done gratitudes, and I don't think there'll be any hands going up, I should imagine. Now, the interesting thing about gratitudes is, well, what I'm going to talk about is the words. Okay, so we call it gratitudes because that's what it's kind of big out there and everyone knows. But as we know, words have their own energy. Yeah, they have their own frequency, or own vibration, whichever you want to call it. And if it's kind of like, and they get higher up. So we've got thankful. I haven't written about, I don't know, did I include it about the energy in the pack? I don't know. Anyway, I'm saying it now. Grateful can sometimes feel like, oh, thank you. Oh, I've got to be grateful for this. Yeah, there can be a bit of a funny energy with it, actually, sometimes for some people, depending on what you attach to that. So we've got like a hierarchy of words that we can use, and they can be interchangeable, and you can just use them as what feels right for the thing that you're writing about or the day that it is. So thankful is kind of the first one. Then we've got grateful, which is a higher vibration, higher frequency. Then we've got love and appreciation. And kind of love and appreciation, there's not much difference between them. Okay. Yeah, love's just above appreciation. So it might be that you feel that you're thankful. It might be feel that you are grateful. It might feel like you really love something, love that something happened. Or you might really feel deeply appreciative. Okay. But so each evening you're going to choose 3 things from your day that you feel thankful, grateful, appreciative or loving of, and you're going to put why. Okay, and you're going to write these down, physically write these down. And I won't go into the whys and wherefores too much because I've put it in the pack, but when we actually write it, that physical process of writing, we're using all the parts of our brain, we're processing it differently, and we're remembering it differently because we're storing it. Yeah. Okay. So if we just lie there in bed, say, and just go, oh, I'm thankful for this, and I'm grateful for that, and oh, that was really good, thank you very much. That's great, but it doesn't have the same depth to it, so it doesn't have the same power to it. Okay. So 3 things, and why. If you've got more than 3 things and you're on a roll, you just go for it. Yeah. I can remember starting this, one of the first things that my therapist got me to do, that alongside the heart breathing, and this will be like 14 years ago now, I think. And I used to really struggle. I was in a really bad place. I was really deeply depressed, and don't know how when I think about how I used to function, because I was still at work and stuff, do you know what I mean? I don't know how I did really. But anyhow, there would be days where I would just struggle with, well, everything just feels crap, so there's nothing to be thankful for, nothing to be grateful for. So remembering what it was like and how we can have days like that, where you kind of just go, oh, I don't know, today just felt like it was rubbish. Maybe it'll be the fact that I did some heart breathing. Maybe it'll be the fact that I went to the supermarket and actually had a really nice chat with the girl at the checkout. And it was just so nice to have that random conversation, and I really appreciate that connection that was there, you know? So maybe it's, oh, so nice. You know, I'm really appreciate the fact that I cooked my favorite dinner for myself. You know, I really took that time to honor my body and eat something that was so delicious and nutritious. You know, it might be that, oh, I love this, one of my favorites, and as soon as I say it, I get goosebumps. I love the fact that, and then whatever the thing happens, yeah, and I really appreciate, and it's just like, and I have to say, when I'm manifesting, the love is the vibration that I use, yeah, all the time. And I just go around going, oh, I love the fact that I've got this. I love this experience. I love, yeah. So you can really have fun with it, yeah, but write it down. Please do write it down. So the 3 things and why. If you want to do a bit more, you don't have to this week, but you can do, and it's in there. But you will bring it in at some point, even if it's not this week. But have a little go at doing a few minutes of journaling, which can also be called self-loving inquiry. So kind of think of the page just as just dumping your head on the page, dumping your emotions on the page. Yeah, maybe sometimes people feel really resistant at first. Well, I don't know what to write, or I don't want to write because someone might read it, you know, and all of those things that come up. Just take it as an opportunity to stop, to tune in with yourself and say, how am I feeling right now in this moment? And write about that. How am I feeling right now in this moment about the day that I've had? How am I feeling right now in this moment about that really crappy thing that happened with such a person, you know? And then you don't think about grammar or punctuation or handwriting. You don't think about censoring yourself because you can't possibly write that because that would mean X, Y, or Z. Just write it down. It's your words, they're your feelings. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. Just write what you feel. Yeah, just like, bleh. Yeah, just let it out. I remember about 30 years ago, I remember coming out of this exam. In fact, about to go into an exam, and my friend said, I just want to get in there and empty my head on the page. It's a bit like the head was so full, and it's a bit like that some days, isn't it? We've got all this stuff inside, kind of go, it's all churning around, and it goes round and round and round in your head. Like, get it out there. Yeah, get it on the page. Really interesting thing about journaling. Some of you might have heard of the Human Givens. It's an organization, and it's a therapeutic approach. And a lot of the stuff that I do is Human Givens based. And oh God, what's his name now? Joe what's it? Forgotten what his surname is. But anyhow, he did a book like about this thick, absolutely like a fantastic doorstop, you know, even if you never got to read it. And he did all this work around dreams, and it started off with himself. And essentially, if we journal before we go to bed, so if we empty all that stuff from the day on the page, it means we've got less to process, the brain's got less to process. So it helps us meet the unmet emotional needs of the day. which then means results in the fact that we get more of the deep restorative sleep that we need. So we'll tend to wake up feeling more refreshed because we've had less processing to do. And it really does work. And the gratitudes and the journaling are amazing for shifting our mood and how we feel about ourselves and our situation so quickly. I've had clients come back having done nothing else but gratitudes, 3 gratitudes a day for a week, and come back the following week and said, I feel different already, just because I'm noticing all the good stuff. Yeah. And you can get up the next morning, it'd be there at the side of your bed, and just have a quick flick through and go, oh, and then you're going to start your day feeling, oh, that's nice, isn't it? You know, I feel good about that. Yeah. You might even feel drawn to put something else in there. Oh, the rain's coming again. Okay. So, all right, so I'm going to leave that there. Please read what I've written. If you've got any questions, pop them in the group through the week. So fear of change is our next. So it sounds like everybody at some point or other, or possibly everybody, has experienced some, whether it's this week or any other time, resistance, procrastination, avoidance, just digging your heels in. I'm not going to do this. Yeah. Put your hand up if you've never experienced that in your life. It's impossible, isn't it? Because we all do it. We all do it. So if you remember what I was talking about earlier, it's when we go into that place of resistance, yeah? And resistance is, I think, is such an accurate word for it. It's like we're resisting something, yeah? Resistance is always fear. So things happen through our life, and without us even doing anything, our subconscious mind makes up rules about things, and it sets beliefs, yeah, limiting beliefs, and they're always attached to fear, and sometimes the fear is the limiting belief. Yeah. So these are all the things like so they're going to show up so differently for everybody, but there's always kind of, we all have the same stuff. But say, I don't know, let's say we're trying to learn something new, like heart breathing, we're trying to do it every day, and we might have this belief that my best isn't good enough, or I'm not good enough, or there's no point in trying because I'm just going to fail. You know, there's helps. I've put a whole page, like 2 columns of fears and beliefs in there, and there will be many more, but these are the ones that I've seen come up time after time after time after time after time. And I work longer term with clients. You know, some clients work with me for over 2 years because they're really committed to, they're just like, this is so good now, I just want to do more. they get a bit like me, going, come on, bring it on, I just want to cry, I just want to get this out, because I just want to change, keep on changing for the better. So because we've got that, that's what gets in the way. Yeah. So these are really deeply subconscious like programs that are running, which is why I don't hold with self-sabotage. Yeah, because that really does imply that it's a conscious act.
Yeah.
And it's not. Yeah. Sometimes we might be conscious that we are resisting, that we're avoiding, that we're procrastinating, that we're fearful, that we've got, but what's underpinning it is so hardwired. You know, remember there's always the iceberg analogy. You know, you've got like 4% of the iceberg sticking out the top, and the rest of it, the other 96%, is underneath. Well, that little bit out the top, that's our conscious, rational thinking brain. You know, the one that thinks we can do everything and that we're in charge. but it's the other 96 that's really in charge. Yeah, that's our subconscious. Some people call it ego. I don't even like that term either. It's the limiting beliefs and the fears, and often they're one and the same. So on a body, when it comes to the body, if we want to change something, it's as soon as like that resistance comes up, that fear comes up, it's because it's trying to keep us safe. And it can be really infuriating, you know, because perhaps we need to make some changes for our health. Maybe we need to make some changes for our emotional well-being. Maybe we need to make some changes so that we can go get a new job, or I don't know, find a partner, or whatever the thing is. Yeah. If we're resisting it or we're fearing going towards that thing, it's our limbic system. You know, the limbic system is, you've got it's our caveman brain. Okay, our lizard brain, you might call it. So you've got the amygdala, you've got the hippocampus, you've got the basal ganglia, and the cingulate gyrus, and the thalamus there. The two really key things here are to remember about the amygdala and the hippocampus. Yeah, because I mean, all the limbic brain is engaged in the process of fear. But when it comes to, I want to highlight the amygdala and hippocampus just to remember those things, kind of stick in your brain. Because when it comes to the EFT, we know that the actual changes that happen in the amygdala and in the hippocampus when we use EFT to change fears, yeah, or to change beliefs, or to change anything, yeah. So when we tap, we send signals through the body, through the nervous system, to the amygdala. So essentially, so say we're tapping on it's not going to work for me. Yeah. So I think everyone here has done tapping, haven't they? Is that right? Jane, have you done tapping?
I think so.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Okay. So if we're talking about it if I use it in context with EFT, just say it was no point, it's not going to work, you know, like you've identified the belief, even though there's no point in doing this because it's really not going to work for me. When it's kind of, you've got that there, and it's like the tapping while you're saying the obvious, the thing that is present, it's sending those signals to the amygdala to say, even when I think this, I feel this, I believe this to be true, even though that's what I have been believing, I'm now safe to feel this, think this, believe this. And it could be see this, smell this, taste this as well. Yeah, because it's all of our senses as well as our what has been programmed in there. So then when the amygdala gets the message that it's safe, it then sends a kind of, I was thinking like it sends it over to the hippocampus to store it in the long-term memory as safe. Yeah. So this thing that has always been flagged as unsafe, I can't feel this because I'm not safe. I can't do this because I'll be unsafe. And always, and think about it in the context of, if we were in caveman times and we made ourselves anyway, even a tiny bit different to the rest of the tribe, we would be cast out. We would be on the periphery and we would not have the safety. So we would be the first one to be picked off by the saber-toothed tiger or the marauders from the next village. Yeah. So anything that makes us feel a little bit different to how we've been, so that's different from just the perception of how we experience life, different within ourselves. I'll be different and people will notice this, you know, so my family will see me differently, my community will see me differently. I'll just be different. I won't be safe. Yeah. So this is why we address this now. Okay. Now you're going to have a heap of these. When you go through the exercise, you might well go, oh shoot, they all resonate. Yeah. They all resonate with me about something on some level, and that's okay. Yeah. I say I've that kind of list, when I was just like typing it out, I was just thinking about all the clients that I've worked with and all the stuff that I've worked on for myself. That's just kind of like, I'm still working on, just go, yeah, and it just kind of went on and on and on and on and on. I'm sure I could have written another page of stuff. So thinking about this fear of change, we always end up with an emotion and a belief. And it's kind of, they get stuck together. Yeah. So the emotion and this might be fear. And then we're taking it in this context. And then the belief could be this fear of changing in some way. If you think about this last week, when you've been doing things, you've been doing the heart breathing, there might be a time where you're a little bit resistant, or you didn't do as much as you wanted, because I just want you to just take a moment now to take a breath or two and just to think about this last week. Picture yourself there, if that helps. Feel your way into it. And just go to a part in your week, a moment in your week where you were really wanting to do something to help yourself. Maybe that's the heart breathing, or maybe that was something else. And just notice how you were feeling and what you were thinking to yourself, that you were believing about yourself or the situation. So what do you notice? And when you've noticed what the emotion is, and the emotion might not be fear, it might be despair, it might be anger, it might be, or there could be more than one, that's the thing. It could be sadness. And just notice the thoughts or beliefs that are attached. And if you're able to, and you've done it, I'd really love you to pop those in the chat if that's possible for you, please. Thank you, Helen.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, all right, Jane, that's fine. Are you on a laptop?
No, a tablet.
Okay. Oh, that'll be really hard then to do it on a tablet. Okay, no worry. But you can just tell me what you're.
Tablet. You see
Oh, go on
the three dots under more, Jane, at the top.
At the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops! I just dropped it. That's okay. Oh, what have I done now? 3 dots at the top. Oh God.
Press anywhere.
I'm so very not techno. What's it? Press anywhere. Oh, something just came up when I right.
Yeah.
Switch camera. Switch to gallery view. No, that's not telling me anything.
No.
Anything at the bottom? No.
Oh yeah. A bit at the
Oh,
bottom.
more. Oh yeah. More.
There you go. Chat.
Right. Oh, chat. So now I just go on there and write something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Where? I can't. Oh, down there. Tap here to chat.
My tablet's just messing me about and doesn't want to. Every time I type something in, it does something entirely different.
Okay. Well, don't worry then. If any of you are struggling with it, then you can just tell me. That's fine.
I don't know how I get out of this. Oh, close. Got it. Thank you,
Okay.
Helen, for your
If it's
lesson.
easy for you to put it in the chat, then put it in. If it's not, then you can just tell me. So Louise, what's yours?
Well, I was very frustrated because I'd set time aside to do stuff, and then I was absolutely zonked out, being ill, and it was. I just felt so the frustration carried on. I knew it was temporary, but I thought, why now? Because I've actually got some free time, and my son's away, so therefore it's easier to do stuff. Because when he's around, it's very difficult because he's nocturnal.
Okay.
So it's like, ah.
Okay. So when that frustration came up, what were the beliefs that attached to it, or the thoughts?
Well, one of the thoughts was that crossed my mind: am I giving myself permission to be ill? Which sounds a bit bizarre. It's because I hadn't had any particular episodes for a long time, and I thought, oh, maybe I need to rest. So my logical mind was going, hey, hang on, you need to rest maybe.
Yeah, but I'm not giving myself that permission.
No.
No. Oh, okay. I'm not safe to rest.
But I didn't want to rest anyway. So I wanted to do stuff.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Louise. Jane, what was yours, please?
Well, I put isolation. I was on my yoga retreat. I'll try and say it quickly. And I really wanted to go for a walk, but the weather was terrible. But then there were these 2 ladies I got talking to, and they said, because I'd been there before and they hadn't, let's go to the walled garden. And one of them got the key from the owner. And it would have been easier for me to have just stayed in my room and felt isolation. That's why I put that. But and there was a sort of resistance to it. But because this lady took the slight initiative, I went, and we had a fabulous time. Umbrellas and rain everywhere, but the beauty of it all. So yeah.
Okay, so when that.
So it's, you know,
So with EFT, we need something negative to focus on. So we've got resistance, but you've got a happy outcome.
Yeah.
So in that moment when you were resisting, what is it that you were resisting? So you were resisting being by yourself.
No, I was sort of, it's easier just to stay in my room and shut the whole world out, basically.
Okay,
It's
so
easier to do that, but really I know from my own, you know, it's actually better for me to mix with others and enjoy the beautiful world that we live in, sort of thing. But
so
it's easier to just go, right, oh, let's just not bother, sort of thing.
Okay, so in that moment, I don't want to bother. What was the fear?
I don't know really. Oh, that's a difficult one. Yeah, I don't know. I can't seem to turn it around to find that fear somehow.
It feels like there's a fear of connecting and being disappointment, disappointed. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. No, it's like connecting and making that connection and then being abandoned.
Yes, yeah, maybe. But I mean, I love connecting with people, really. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I just need a big push to do it. That's the thing.
So what's going on when you don't? I'll leave you to think about that just for a
Sorry.
minute, okay? I want you to dive into it while I chat with everybody else.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah?
Mm.
Okay. Fran.
Right. I have to admit, I sort of slightly checked out a little bit, and I do apologise. I think
All right.
I'm thinking about my glasses, and I keep feeling very distant because I can't focus. And when I was trying to think, my mind just drifted off into anything. But anyway, I pulled myself back, and I was thinking about an issue where I raised something in the team meeting at work, and it took a lot for me to do that, because I stand back, I'm quite reflective. I'm frightened about making an obvious point or a point that isn't relevant. That's why I never speak up. I spoke up about something, and a colleague of mine was quite brusque to reply to what I'd stated, and I just felt, I didn't feel validated at all. So yeah, I don't know how to express it in the way you've asked us to present it, Jill, but I think I felt frustrated by this person's response. And for me, I think it was down to me feeling not validated in that what I had to contribute wasn't worthy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
There's no point in speaking up because I won't be heard.
Yeah, and that's what physically runs through my head anyway.
Okay.
And so that's consciously in my mind rather than subconscious, but it could be both.
It will be, yeah.
Yeah.
Definite. Because if it was only in your mind, you would quite fairly easily overcome that and just go, oh, sod it, I'll just say something, and you know, but kind of, and if I do, then I get this response. So then it's a bit like the danger flag goes up again.
Yeah.
And it's like, see, told you, don't do that. It's really dangerous. You're not going to feel good.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. It's no point speaking up. I won't be heard.
Mm.
So those of you that have got it.
Oh, sorry, I was going to add as well. I think adding to that, I would probably attach the words, I don't have anything useful to say anyway, because I think that is my oh my God, what's the word? Not go to, default. That's my default sort of core belief about me.
Okay. So let's just, for the purpose of today, let's just really bring it in onto one thing. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. It feels like there's no point. I'm afraid to speak up. There's no point in speaking up because I won't be heard.
Mm.
And we'll go to the default another time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those of you that you've got it cracked already, I want you to give it a number out of 10, how much you believe this, while I come to the others. Okay. So I'm going to come to Pam now, and I'm really conscious of how much time we haven't got left. And I'm loving all the conversation and the ahas and things. But I really do want to get some tapping in for you all today, because it's super important. Okay. So be as succinct as you can, please, those of you that remain. Just speak. So Pam, my lovely.
I sort of did the same thing of zoning out at the beginning. I don't know why I started thinking about something else. So I might be wrong, but I took it to be when I'm having bad feelings about myself. What's come out of that? Is that right? So for me, what nearly always comes out is that whatever I'm trying to do, it's not going to work, because nothing works.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So-
And that's a lot to do with why I give up things, you know, I give
Yeah.
up practices because I get to a point where I'm like, this is going to work.
Okay. There's no point. It's not going to work.
Mm.
Yeah.
I did put it on the thing, but I couldn't get it to enter. I don't know why.
Oh, okay, lovely. It's not going to work for you.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, I've got more review down here already. That's brilliant. Okay. So you kind of got the same as Helen, and oh no, it wasn't Helen. Who was it? It's not going to work. Didn't someone? Oh, it was Pam. No. Oh gosh. Blimey. Jane. Oh my word. Stop, Jill.
It's me.
Jan. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. It was you.
Yeah, it won't make any difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no point. And interestingly, Jan, you've taken it to kind of, do you know what I mean? You've got more levels in there, which I loved, because Jan's was there was some fear there, but it won't make any difference. I'm not worth it, so I can't be bothered doing it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So was everybody giving it a number out of 10?
No.
The 10 would be, I believe this 100%. 0 would be, this is a bunch of nonsense. I don't believe any of this.
All right, which this do I have to rate?
The whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. All right, cool.
Yeah. We're just going to lump it all together. Jane,
Yes.
this fear of connecting, what do you feel will happen if you connect?
I suppose it's a sort of a feeling of, am I going to be accepted in that little group or whatever? It's almost from school days. I was always the outsider right through, and the oddity sort of thing, and who wants to talk to you kind of business. And yet I had a lot of people over the weekend saying, I can see a lot of people would come to you with their problems and you're very easy to talk to and what have you. But it's almost like I've got that inbred thing of not fitting in.
Yeah.
But I don't know what is the emotion. It's not loneliness, is it? I mean, that's not emotion.
No, it's a fear of connecting.
Yeah, okay, right.
Fear of connecting because I fear I won't be accepted.
Okay, yeah.
There's a really interesting thing about fear, and if we had a bit more time, I would do it with you all. But it's called a fear. What I've found is there's a fear cascade. Yeah. And it's really simple. You can do this. So you start off with something, you say, I've got this fear of connecting. Yeah. And then you ask yourself, what do I feel will happen if I connect with people? And then you go, oh, well, I won't be accepted. And so there you got your next belief. I'm afraid that and like fear belief. I'm afraid that I won't be accepted if I connect with people. Then you say, what do I fear will happen if I am not accepted? If I'm not accepted, I'll be rejected. And Jane, in your case, that's definitely active for you there. I'm afraid that I'll be rejected. And what happen? And what do I fear will happen if I'm rejected? And this is also active for you, Jane. I'll be alone.
Yeah, I see.
And then it just keeps on going down and down and down. But for the purpose of tonight, we haven't got time. We haven't got the space to do it justice, kind of thing. So we're just going to start off at that first top level. Yeah. Which actually really big top level for a lot of you. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some tapping together. Okay. And I'm going to mute you all in a minute. What I want you I want you to think about your setup statement, okay? So when we do EFT, we've always got, so it's going to go like, and I'm going to be saying everything along and you're just going to be repeating your stuff, okay? So if I look at Fran, for example, it would be, even though I believe there's no point in speaking up because I won't be heard, I'll be okay. Even though I'm afraid to speak up. So there's just no point. Oh no, it's not. Fran, what do you feel will happen if you do speak up and aren't heard?
What if I'm not heard? Sorry.
If you speak up, actually it's ridicule.
Yeah, ridicule. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like yours, for example, Fran, is even though I'm really afraid that I'll be, if I speak up, I'll be ridiculed and no one will hear me anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, just stick with the first one. I'm afraid of being ridiculed if I speak up.
Okay.
That feels stronger. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Helen, have you got yours? I'm taking it you'll be good with yours. Just give me a thumbs up. You are. You
I
tap
keep
enough.
changing it. So
Changing it.
I'll stick with one.
Yeah, just stick with one. There's going to be, once you start diving into this, there's going to be loads come up. And we can't do all of it in one go. This is why, you know, next week we're going to dive more into EFT to give you the foundation with it, because next week you will be bringing it into your daily practice. Wow. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. But to give you it this week, you'd be like, oh, unless you know it really well already, you're like, this is one thing too many. Let's go slowly, Jill. Okay. So Pam, yours is I'm not safe to change. I'm not safe to change, so there's no point trying. What's that feel like?
Horrible.
Yeah, what number is it?
Of course. High, ace or no.
Okay. Jan. This is a fear of actually putting yourself first, because you're going to get in other people, you're going to tread on other people's toes if you put yourself first and you become okay.
Yeah.
Does that feel true?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's like you'll be in the firing line if you're all right. Oh yeah, I'm getting big goosebumps with that. It's like you've really got to stay small, stay quiet, stay as you are, because you don't want to threaten anybody else. You don't want to rock the boat.
Mm.
Does that fit into your family dynamic?
It does. From when I was very little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I fight it now, but from when I was very little, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've never been to Louise. Yeah, I'm not safe to rest.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am not safe to rest. What do you believe will happen if you rest? What do you feel will happen if you rest?
It's almost like it encourages procrastination.
If I rest, I won't get anything done.
Yeah, I'll get nothing done.
Yeah, 'cause I have to be busy
Absolutely.
to be worthwhile.
Cool.
I have to be busy to be, yeah, to be worthy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Has anyone haven't been to?
So would mine be,
Oh, Jane, yes.
sorry, would mine be, I'll be afraid of being rejected if I connect or something? Is that,
Okay, yeah. Yours is
no, sorry.
even though.
Mm.
I'm gonna see. Where's the rain again? Yeah, it is the fear of being rejected and alone. Hi. Okay. The fear that I'll be rejected and alone.
Okay.
But even though. Oh, why is this not coming? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not easy to put it in.
No, it is easy. It's just
It seems not to come.
there's a block there. Okay, so we're removing all blocks and cutting all cords. Offering the solution. Bringing in some divine white light into each and every one of you now. Bringing in some divine white light. It's instantly coming in as the rain comes in, as the rain comes down. The divine white light. Oh, pardon me. Okay. Okay, that's enough to shift things. Okay. Jane, yours is even though I've got even though I've got this fear that I'll be rejected and alone. If I connect, I know I'll be okay. And you can change the words, any of you. You know, I'm giving you what I feel intuitively, connecting in with. So if you all got your setup statement now, so even though I feel this, I believe this, because, and then just at the end, nice and soft and gentle, I'll be okay. Those of you that have done tapping before, you might remember the ultimate is I love and accept myself completely, but so often when we work on something new, it's like we start telling, oh, I don't love and accept myself, and then you've got to go and work on I don't love and accept myself, and you can't work on the thing that you started with. So just nice and gentle, I'll be okay. Yeah. It never ceases to amuse me how complex and beautiful we are. Okay. All right, so I shall mute you. So then you don't hear what everyone is saying, but we're all going to tap. I'm not going to put anyone in the seat of change tonight. Okay, we're just going to tap. And so I will make sure that you can see where I'm tapping, and I'll say it all out. Okay. And I will, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use words and beliefs from what has come up. Yeah. So you're going to hear me say some of your stuff. You're going to hear me say other people's stuff. But I want you just to know that just because you've already tuned into it and you have now this moment set the intention that you are going to shift and clear, heal and release what you are holding in this moment. Yeah. So even if you forget what your stuff is, you're still going to be letting go of things. Yeah. Okay. And you are going to use your own setup statement to say out loud as we do. So we're all going to start now. And the golden rule always is when one of us is tapping, all of us is tapping. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you're going to say this out loud, my lovelies, even though. And then just start saying your phrase. Yeah. So start saying your phrase. Even though I've got these fears, that are stopping me from doing the things I want. I know I'll be okay. Even though I've got these fears that are getting in my way of me making the changes that I want in my life, I know I'll be okay. Even though I'm really afraid to make any change in my life, because things will be different and I won't know who I am. I know I'll be okay. Top of the head. And so just use the whole statement or parts of the statement. I'm not safe to change. Onto the start of the eyebrow now here. I'm not safe to change. So the start of the eyebrow, that's it. Brilliant. Side of the eye, I'm really not safe to change. Under the eye. I don't know who I'll be if I change. That's it. Under the nose now. I won't be safe if I change. I'm really afraid of being different if I change. Under the collarbone now. So you put your hand like this, it fits under both sides. It's not going to make any difference. So there's no point if I try. That's it, under the arm. It won't make any difference. Things will still be the same. So I'm not going to try. The inside of the wrist. I'm still afraid to change. But it's no point in trying. Okay. Now when we get here down to the thumb, it's the side of the thumbnail, side where the finger meets the, oh, yeah. I'm going to follow my words now, okay? Letting go of the fear, of letting go of all the fear of change. Next one down. Letting go of all the fear, of letting go of all the fear of change. That's it. Next one down. Letting go of all the fear, of changing in any way. Next one down. Letting go of all the fear, of letting go of all the fear of change. That's it. Next one down. Letting go of all the fear, of letting go of all the fear of not being me if I change. Oh, excuse me. Now, burping, gurgling, yawning, crying, laughing, all kinds of things, all just energy shifting, yeah? So it's all good signs. And there's never any need for apologies or embarrassment in this space, because you're going to be doing lots of yawning, burping, gurgling, and all of the rest of it. And maybe even some tears, who knows? And I get the giggles the last few months, which is really quite hilarious. Do I just get this, especially when I'm working with people? Okay. So I want you just to check in with yourself now, with the belief that you're working on. Yeah, and just give it another number. What number is it now? Louise has just had a release there by the look of it. And Helen was doing a good bit of yawning. Fantastic. So write down whatever that number is, or remember it. Okay. Are there any other words that you need to add in that are directly related, connected with what you started with? And that's great. You can add those in. We're going to do one more round of tapping. Okay. Tapping again on the side of the hand, even though I want to change. I'm really afraid to change. I really do want to change, but I'm so afraid because I'll be different if I change. And even though I believe this to be true, I know I'll be okay. And even though I really want to change, but I'm so afraid that if I change, I'll be different. That I won't be the same. I won't know who I am. And I won't be safe. I know I'll be okay. And even though I'm so frustrated and I feel despairing because I want to change, but I'm too afraid to go there. So I'm just not going to try. And even though I believe this to be true, I know I'll be okay. So let's go straight to the top of the head. Letting go of all this fear of being different. Start of the eyebrow, letting go of all this fear of change. Side of the eye, letting go of all the fear of being different. Into the eye, letting go of all the fear of changing and not being me. Under the nose, letting go of all the fear of being rejected and alone if I change. Under the chin, letting go of all the fear of making all this effort and nothing changes. Under the collarbone, letting go of all this fear of speaking up and never being heard. Under the arm, letting go of all the fear of nothing happening if I do all this. Oh, pardon me. Oh, gosh. That's why I just won't change. Letting go of all the frustration and all the fear. Onto the thumb, letting go of all the fear of the fear of letting go of all the fear of letting go of this fear of change. Yeah, next one down, letting go of all the fear of the fear of letting go of all the fear of letting go of all the fear of change. That's it. Next one down, letting go of all the fear of the fear of letting go of all the fear of not being me if I change. That's it. Next one down, letting go of all the fear of the fear of not being me and not being safe if I change. That's it. Next one down, letting go of all the fear of the fear of letting go of all the fear of not being safe to be me if I change. Okay. Take a nice breath and have some water. Okay, so check in with yourself again and give it a number. I'm just unmuting you all. Okay. Now, I'm well aware that we're 9 o'clock. So can I request your forgiveness for running late and ask if we're okay just to check in, maybe probably take another 10 minutes. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
You manage that? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I made it longer this time, the course, because there was so much, like, do you know what I mean, to get in. And I'm like, okay, still need to take things out each week because there's too much.
Sorry.
That's all right, it's still going on. Really good releases, Louise. So what I'd like you to tell me now is what the number you started with and the number you are now. That's all I want you to say. Okay. So I'm going to start with Fran.
I was 8 and I'm now 4.
Brilliant. Helen.
I can't really because I swapped. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. What was the first number?
Well, the first number was about a 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
know you swapped, but with that 7, if you now think about the first thing, what number would it be?
It's as if I can't think of that one because it felt not as important or deep as the one that I switched to.
Okay. And the one that you switched to,
Yeah.
what number is it now?
It's a 4.
And if you knew what number it was to begin with, what number would that be?
I would say that was an 8.
Brilliant. So you're an 8 to a 4. So there you go. Well done. Louise.
6 to a 3 and a hell of a lot of belching.
You did. Better out than in, always, especially when it comes to energy. Brilliant, thank you. Pam.
I started with an 8-9, but I only got down to a 7.
Ah, okay. So I'm going to invite you to remove that only from your vocabulary. Okay, because sometimes we can have a shift of a half or a 1 that is absolutely massive. Yeah. If it's a fundamental core belief, and we have literally had it all our life and it's been running really strong through so many things, a shifter of a half or a 1 can be the same as someone going from a 10 to a 0, you know, in its magnitude. And so there's never any only this or only that. Okay. And I know as well, when other people have got big shifts in numbers, it feels like, but mine's only.
When everyone was doing low ones, I thought, no, what have I done wrong?
No, you haven't done anything wrong at all.
I haven't done tapping for a long time anyway, so I was struggling to get into that. But yeah, that it did hit me when you turned around and said it's I'm not safe to change. That really sort of that hit me.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, that underpins like everything you ever try and do. Yeah, it's a really deep core belief. So the fact that you went from, you said an 8 or a 9, so it would have been a 9 if there was an 8 and a 9 there. Yeah. So a 9 to a 7, that's a really big shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good work.
Thank you.
Jane, first, both numbers, please.
7 to a 4.
Well done, you. That's brilliant. And Jan.
An 8 to a 4.
Well done, you. Oh, all of you are superstars. Look at that. We just did 2 rounds of tapping and look how it shifted.
Mm.
And I think all of you, I would imagine if we had time to chat through it, would have all kinds of like other awareness, like an aha moments coming up and all these other little bits and pieces attached to it, because that's what happens. We start to tap, and as soon as we start to literally tap into it, pun intended, it's like we're tuning into it, more comes up. Now, like Helen's a good example. So she started off with one thing, but then this other thing came up. Yeah, this happens really, really often. Now we always have a choice when this happens. Yeah, so we can stick with the original and park the new thing. Yeah, and to park that new thing might mean that you need to write it down, because you'll quite easily forget. Yeah, especially when you carry it on. Or if it feels like actually this is the bigger thing, this is the deeper thing, and it feels okay for me to go there and tap on this, then you can park the first thing and go to the other. Yeah, so you will always intuitively know which is the thing to work on if something new comes up. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to go to that other one. You'll probably just be the next time you do some tapping, or maybe once you've clicked, you know, you'll go back to it the same day even, and it's going to be entirely up to you. But trust intuitively what feels right to work on. Yeah, if something comes up and when we're tapping and it's really big and it feels really overwhelming, and we feel, and I will use that word today, we feel really triggered. Yes, yeah? So whatever it is, the belief and the emotions are really strongly activated within us, and we don't feel safe going there, then don't go there. Yeah. What you can do is you can do some tapping on the I'm not safe to go there. Yeah. So you're not going to the thing. You're just going to work gently around the edge of it. Yeah. So think of it like you just wrapped the thing itself, the thing that feels too unsafe, like you've just wrapped it in something cotton wool, like a nice little bubble of safety. Yeah. And you're just 1 step removed or 2 steps removed from it, and you just tap on even though I'm not safe to go there, even though I want to go, I want to work on this thing, I'm not yet safe to go there. Was that you then, Helen? Where's that? Let me see. What was that? I can't identify with beliefs. I can't identify with beliefs. Someone else can see deeper in me than I can. Okay, so that's your starting point, girly. Yeah, yeah. And other people always can see more. You know, it's like as a dear friend who's also a practitioner and does a lot of the stuff that I do, and we're living really close by to each other now, but we still find it a struggle to actually be in the same space as each other. But we've just committed to doing swaps, because this is what we do as practitioners. You know, it's kind of we work on ourselves, but like we've always got this blind spot. You know, it's why clients come to me. You know, it's why anyone goes to any kind of that practitioner or therapist, because we can see ourselves so far, but then we get the blind spot or we get the blinkers on, and we just don't. And not so often, like every single time, no matter how willing we are to do the work, there will be the resistance, there will be the fear, and that's what stops us from going there. Yeah. And we you know, when we're in that space where someone is holding space for us and they can see what we can't see, you know, it's really powerful. And the reason I was telling you about my friend Neil is that he came around for the cuppa, and we were just nattering about our lives and the world and all the rest of it. But then, of course, we did what we always do. It's like any 2 people who kind of work, it's like work together. Do you know what I mean? You end up talking about work, don't you? So we start talking in the context of what was going on for ourselves. And actually, this was on what was going on with him, and it's something physical. And I can't help it, but it's like, because I get the messages constantly. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, do you want to do this? So we went, okay, all right. So we did like 20 minutes of work. And in that 20 minutes, he had so many ahas. And it's like, oh my God, because I could see things differently. I could see what he hadn't yet been able to see himself. Yeah. And even just our conversation, some of the things I was like, oh, is that? And I would just ask a question and he'd go, oh, so glad I came for a cup of tea. You know, he was all of this. So we're none of us any different, you know. And sometimes we don't want to believe those things about ourselves. There's that as well. I don't want to believe that this is where I am.
Can I ask you something practical? Sorry. When we're doing the tapping, are we supposed to swap to the other hand so it's sort of symmetrical? No,
Doesn't make any difference. I swap because I've got RSIs, so and I get bored and I just do it anyway because I've been doing it so long. It really doesn't matter. Some people, like Louise was tapping on. I think you were tapping on both sides, weren't you? You can do. It's not essential. It still works in exactly the same way. Yeah. So for most people, it's much easier to tap with your dominant hand on the opposite side of the body. Yeah. So I'm right-handed. I tap onto the left, onto the side of the hand. We used to always refer to it as the karate chop, but we're being encouraged to call it side of the hand now because it's more gentle. It's like, hiya! Same impact, is it? Yeah, it's my classic joke to get everyone to remember it. A hong hong pooey. What a crap impersonation that is as well, you know. I wouldn't get any prizes for it, but you all will remember now. Yeah, so I tap on there and then it's like, oh sorry, not the opposite side, the same side of the body. It's just easier, you know. So I'm just tapping on the side that I am.
Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously to tap it opposites when it comes to the hand, just because it's easier. And the only reason we go down in that order is just to make it easier to remember. So if you find if you are going to have a go at tapping this week, and please by all means do if you feel drawn to it, all the info you need is in there, but I'm not going to expect you to do any unless you want to, you feel confident, you feel comfortable, or you feel curious, whatever it is. Yeah, but it's this week the homework is the carry on with the water, the heart breathing, the gratitudes. Yeah. If you want to bring in a little bit of journaling, a couple of minutes of emptying your head on the page, emptying your emotions on the page, that would be fantastic. Only needs to be a couple of minutes, and you can do it when you straight after your or before or after your heart breathing. It's entirely up to you. Whatever's going to work best for you. If you do it at say the half hour or so before you go to bed, that's optimal for helping sleep. Yeah. Otherwise, because then you're just going to go kind of. You're just going to get into bed and go to sleep, whereas rather than your brain going off into like 1,000 directions of what you've got to do the next day. Yeah. And if you want to do some tapping, then do some tapping. Some of you do already, you know, I know you've already got that practice. Okay, so is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, brilliantly. I will put a little note in the group to say this is the homework. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be there for everybody. Hopefully this will have recorded and won't be, well, I don't know, I'll see what it's like, whether the rain just ruins it. I don't know, we'll see what it's, I'll see what it's like. I probably won't get that sorted until tomorrow, because I've got to chop a bit off the beginning and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
Everyone okay to go back into the world?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Lots of water tonight, please, lovelies, or hot, or I was gonna say hot drinks, you know what I mean, herb teas, whatever it is, just really be hydrated. And tomorrow as well, we've done some really deep tapping there, because when we tap in a group, it's always so powerful. Yeah. Okay, so if you've got any questions or comments or anything, then drop them into the group. Oh, and I want to finish off with this. Start from where you are, not where you wish you were. The work you're doing becomes your path. That's on the desk here that I'm working from. Nice, isn't it?
That is nice.
Could you read it one more time? I'm trying to write it down.
I will.
Oh,
Start from where you are,
Yeah.
not where you wish you were. The work you're doing becomes your path. Yeah, because we're always wishing our life away. You know, that used to be my thing as a kid. It was always like the thing that was coming up next. And my mum used to constantly say to me, stop wishing your life away. And the other one was, be careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah.
And it's true. It's true. You know, think of what we put out there is what we get, which is why we're doing things like the gratitudes and stuff. So you're going to get more loveliness, more positive, more love, more appreciation, more gratitude, more of the things that you really love about your life and about you. You're going to get more and more of that. It's going to, ooh, it's already coming in, flowing to you now, limitless flow of abundance. You, my darlings, are absolutely amazing, and I send much love to you and my sincerest, deepest appreciation. Thank you, and thanks for being in this space.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go well, have an amazing week, and see you in the group.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
good night.
I'll close it now to help you all.
Thank you.
Night.